So after a really fun episode of Cal's Opinion last time, let's keep the good times rolling. What do we got today? Oh no. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a Cal's Opinion where we go over the latest and greatest in Ubisoft turning into a smoldering crater news that happens out there. So make sure to hit that like button. You can hit that subscribe button. Apparently it's supposed to light up when I say that. Let me know if it does. And you can also follow us along. There's all kinds of stuff that we can do on the little channel that just likes to have fun. And today we are not having fun because we have more news from Ubisoft. And of course it's Ubisoft news. It's negative. This is from Mike Straw over at Insider Gaming, because Ubisoft is in trouble with its shareholders, not just for the fact that its shares suck, they're losing a lot of money, but that the company did not disclose that they had meetings with EA and Microsoft about IP acquisition. Now, a bunch of their shareholders are going to be protesting over in their European offices in Paris because it says that they did not disclose all the information. So, little non-gaming information. If you're a publicly traded company, which means that you have, shares for sale on the market, when there's information that could potentially move it, you have to say it. Now, as first reported by IGN, AJ Investments, which has less than a 1% stake in Ubisoft, but with a company the size of Ubisoft, that can mean a lot of shares, is saying that the company is horribly mismanaged by current management. And every single video gamer of the last 5 years said, duh. In addition, they are saying that the company had failed to disclose reported meetings with EA and Microsoft, among other interested properties, about selling the acquisition. This is pretty damn big news, because selling your properties when you're having trouble getting stuff done is a huge bit of market-moving information. On the one hand, you could raise a ton of cash that could really help you with your debt and get things back on track. But on the other hand, if you have less blockbuster properties to make games with, you're going to have less games and have to take more risky chances. All of this stuff can move the market a lot, and that really makes investors angry when they find out you're doing all this behind their backs and they can't adequately check things, as well as the investors are already upset with Ubisoft. There's been a lot of poor game releases, most recently Star Wars Outlaws and the quadruple A. I'm going to laugh every time I say it, guys. Skull and Bones. These games just didn't do very well. We have Assassin's Creed coming in a matter of weeks. Is it going to be good? I certainly hope so, because I know a lot of people love Assassin's Creed, and Ubisoft could really use a win. But I got the rumblings in my tummy that tell me maybe it's not going to be so good. I don't think it's going to be necessarily Dragon Age bad. But, and I like the fact that I can use Dragon Age bad as a verb. But, yeah. So this CEO, and I apologize, Krupa, if I'm mispronouncing your name, I apologize. But that they're not appropriately communicating their plans. And he is calling anyone who is frustrated with the prolonged stagnation in Ubisoft stock performance and the lack of decisive action from the management team to join in protest this coming May. Probably it's their annual reporting. Also says they are going to sue. That's really, when your investors sue, that's really bad. It's a distraction. It costs you a lot of money. It tanks your share price. Now he did say, and this is important, they are aware of Ubisoft management having a financial review of various strategic options being advised by Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan. Those are two very big financial institutions. They're also kind of scumbags. They're run by a bunch of bankers who don't give a damn about anything but their own bonuses. So they're at least looking into it. Now, Ubisoft gave the following statement. The board has established an ad hoc independent committee to oversee this formal and competitive process in regards to the possible options that they have, so as to extract the best value from Ubisoft's assets and franchises for all stakeholders. Ubisoft will inform the market in accordance with applicable regulations if and once a transaction materializes. So Ubisoft is saying, look, if nothing comes of this, then there's no point in talking about it because nothing's going to happen. The shareholders are starting to say, hey, the fact that you're even considering selling your IP, some of it, is market moving information, and you need to tell us, because that could make the share price go up or down, but we deserve the right to know what we own. And look, the cow's opinion is this: Ubisoft is not managed great. I don't think that there's, if you look at the past couple of years, their performance, both in game sales and on the stock market, it's not gonna impress anybody, okay? And I'm not trying to pick on a bunch of developers, because I know that people work really hard to develop games, and I can't develop games. And I know that people work really hard for them and spend years, and nobody spends years busting their rear on a passion project like a game to watch it come out like Dragon Age of Veilguard or massively buggy work like Star Wars Outlaws. I know that everybody in Ubisoft is disappointed in how Skull and Bones did. It was 8 years in development, tried to overcharge people by adding an extra A to AAA. I don't know why they thought that was going to work. Dude, you can't just add an extra letter and charge another $25 for the game. It's not how it works. And I mean, that's not what they did. That's what they said they should have been able to do. Don't worry, it's worth the price you pay. It was not worth the price they pay. If you want to play a great pirate game that Skull and Bones should have been, the Yakuza franchise has one of their favorite characters playing pirate right now in the newest little spinoff, and I'm told it's phenomenal. You'll have a lot more fun with it. Just play that game. But I just don't know what to do about Ubisoft. I've had this discussion on other things, and people have said, well, Tencent's going to buy it. And I'm telling you right now, the cow's opinion is, no, they're not. Because people are so unhappy with China right now and how they always do things, as well as recognizing that some Chinese studios are actually starting to produce some decent games on their own. I'm looking at you, Black Wukong. That they're not going to let a massive tech firm in Europe be sold to China, because they're just not going to do that. It's not politically doable. It doesn't matter how much Tencent's willing to overpay. It's not going to happen. So the most likely thing, if Ubisoft has to sell, is going to be cut into pieces like the FTC wanted Blizzard to do instead of selling all of it to Microsoft. That this IP will go over here, and these studios will get spin off, and these studios will get shut down, and this studio will get sold with this IP to this person. That's what's probably going to happen. Unless Ubisoft can turn it around. Now, the first real test is going to be Assassin's Creed in a couple of weeks. Is that going to work? There is, setting aside the political things, because we can't change any of that. They've had to apologize multiple times for appropriating Japanese units and organizations that actually existed back then and still exist today, but they didn't ask for anything. They accidentally had the text wrong in-game. They made it to where you could destroy a shrine, and that made a lot of Japanese people upset. And look, I understand that the argument from some Ubisoft supporters was, look, in the first couple of Assassin's Creeds, you fist fight the Pope. But some people who are religious and Christian took offense to that too. And I understand it's not meant to be hateful to anybody's faith or tradition. But you have to understand that when you take something that is not yours and do something like that, it's okay for the other people who actually live that life to not like what you're doing. You can't, well, we're just doing it for, you should just be grateful it's in the game. No, I understand that Japanese people may not be happy that a shrine is being destroyed by a foreign samurai. It's probably upsetting to them. I understand that some Christians were not happy that you could punch out the Pope. It's probably upsetting to them. Does it upset me as a Christian? No, it's a video game. I understand it. Okay? There's games where I can do that, and there's other games where I can help the church win. It's fine for me. I like being a paladin of conquest, guys. But I also understand that my opinion is not everybody else's, which means that, and this is the important part, it's okay that they don't like it. If they go on and start cussing and ranting and moaning and groaning and whining and crying and all these other things, no, that's not. Now you're just being a little. But it's okay to say, hey, I don't like that. I don't think that game should have been made. I'm not supporting it. It's perfectly okay. So I go through all that to say that there's a lot of people who don't like the direction of this Assassin's Creed, don't like the decisions that have been made, don't like that it's been delayed twice now. It's not going to get delayed a third time. It may be the most buggy game launch of the year in 2025. They cannot delay this game again. They can't do it. It would be the death in the coffin. They also have to release it. That was the rumor with Dragon Age the Veilguard, is that they didn't think it would do that badly, but they're like, we know we're probably going to lose some money, but we can't cancel this game. The franchise may not survive it, or may not get another game for another 5 to 10 years. We got to release this one. Ubisoft is putting that Assassin's Creed out this year, and I severely doubt it's not making its current release date of a couple weeks from now. So we'll cover it. We'll see. Look, I want them to have a win. A lot of developers have lost their jobs in recent... Lord, 2 years of Bloodbath. It sucks. A lot of developers have lost their jobs. I don't want more developers to lose their jobs. It's tough being independent out there, yo. There's not anywhere near as much money for independent game studios like there was 2, 3, 4 years ago. So, yeah, I want them to do well. Are they going to do well? I'm not super confident that it's going to set the world on fire. Now, it may do decent. I'll take decent. Ubisoft will probably take decent. But we're going to have to see. And you know what else you can do while you're waiting to see is that you can play more games. Games are awesome. Shareholders about to open Revolt is not quite awesome. But you, yes you deserve awesome. And I'll see you next time. I got nothing. I just hope that they do okay. I don't want them to go away. I want them to have a chance to rebuild.